right, you know what time it is. Live from the Bare Muscle Garage, it's time for Fit Crew. What do we got in store for you today? Let's go ahead and share this on screen. So today we've got a 5-round workout for you here, which is an echo, meaning we're running back a format of a workout that we did a couple weeks ago in battle form, but now we're doing just 5 rounds straight through of 15 calories on the bike, 6 single dumbbell devil presses, and a 30-foot dumbbell overhead walking lunge. And we may be looking at this thinking, man, that is some crazy combination you got going on there. How am I even going to survive this? Don't worry, guys. As always, we're going to warm up really well. And we're going to go through all the options and tips and suggestions that will allow you to do this workout or your version of it right where you are, using what you have and doing what you can. But let's go ahead and start the general warm-up, which is going to activate the muscles that we are using in today's workout. So the first move we're going to do is single leg glute bridges. And let's go ahead and have twin one demonstrate 2 single leg glute bridges for us. And if we are doing this from the seated position, then we're going to do some single arm reverse flies like this. So let's everyone join in here and let's do 10 single leg glute bridges, 5 on each side. Now, it could be that doing the single leg version is very taxing for us, in which case we may do the traditional glute bridge. And let's go ahead and have twin one demonstrate. That's with both feet. We're going to pull both feet in close to those hips, squeeze those glutes, get the hips nice and high. And we want to think fast up, hold the top, slow on the way back down. But if we're doing the single leg as prescribed, we've got one leg up, pulling the other foot in, squeezing those glutes, fast up, hold the top, slow on the way back down, holding the top for about 2 seconds. And we're going to do 5 on one side, followed by 5 on the other side. Next, we're going to roll over and hit the dynamic calf stretch. Let's go ahead and have twin one demonstrate 2 reps of the calf stretch on each leg. And if we're doing this from the seated position, then we're actually going to do some dynamic elbows like this. So let's everyone join in and let's do 10 reps of the dynamic calf stretch together. So it could be that doing this off the ground is a bit hard on the wrist, in which case we have a couple options here. We could do this off of an inclined surface, and let's have twin one demonstrate here. It could be off of a sofa, a counter, or even the wall, but we're going to get in an inclined pike position, bend the one knee, push the back heel into the ground, going back and forth like this. But if we're doing this off the ground as prescribed, we've got those hands on the ground, we are piking those hips up, bending the one knee, pushing the back heel into the ground, and then going back and forth like this, which is going to be very crucial, especially if we're doing the mountain climber plank shoulder taps today. And so good job here on the dynamic calf stretch. Speaking of which, that's a good segue into mountain climbers. Let's go ahead and have twin one demonstrate 2 reps of stepping mountain climbers on each side for us. And if we're doing this from the seated position, then we are going to do some alternating forward arm raises like this. So let's everyone join in and let's do 10 stepping mountain climbers on each side. Now, similarly to the other moves, it could be that doing this off the ground is a bit hard on our wrists, in which case we could do this off of an inclined surface. It could be off a counter, off a sofa, off a sturdy piece of furniture, or even off the wall. But we are going to get into an incline plank, and then we are going to get those knees up to the elbow, keeping the midline nice and straight like this. But if we're doing this off the ground as prescribed, then we're in a nice low plank position, taking a big step forward, slightly to the side until the foot is right outside the hand at the top, and we're keeping those hips nice and low throughout the movement. So good job on these mountain climbers. Next, we got some plank shoulder taps. Let's go ahead and have twin one. Demonstrate 2 reps of the plank shoulder tap on each side for us. And if we're doing this from the seated position, then those plank shoulder taps are going to look like this. So let's everyone join in and let's do 10 plank shoulder taps on each side. And so on the plank shoulder tap, this also could be hard on our wrists. Hey, that's okay. We could do this off of an incline position if we need to. Let's have twin one demonstrate here. Could be off that same counter, sofa, sturdy piece of furniture, or a wall. But we're in an incline plank, shifting the weight, tapping the opposite side, keeping the chest and the hips square with the surface that we are using. But if we're doing this off the ground as prescribed, we're in a nice low plank there, keeping those hips nice and low, squeezing the gut, keeping a nice straight midline, and we are shifting the weight, tapping the opposite shoulder, keeping the chest and the hips square with the ground. So good job on these shoulder taps. Next, we got some walk the floors. Let's go ahead and have twin one demonstrate 1 walk the floor for us. And if we are doing this from the seated position, then the walk the floor is going to look like this. So let's everyone join in here and let's do 5 walk the floors together. Now we have a couple options here. It could be that getting all the way down to the ground is a bit of a challenge for us. So we can do the walk the floor down to the plank position. We're going to reach down, touch those toes, walk it out, get to that plank, walk it back, and then reach back at the top. Or we could do this off of an inclined surface. We'll start with our feet up against the surface, and then we're going to get our hands down, take a couple steps back, and then a couple steps forward, and then we clap overhead. But if we're doing the full move as prescribed, we are reaching down, touching the toes, walking out to that plank, getting the chest and the thighs to the ground, leading with the hips on the way back up, touching those toes before reaching back at the top. So good job here on these walk the floors. Next, we got some lunges. Let's go ahead and have twin one demonstrate 2 lunges for us. And if we are doing this from the seated position, then those lunges are going to look like this. So let's everyone join in here and let's do 10 lunges together. So we got you covered with some options here. It could be that getting that knee all the way to the ground is a bit of a challenge for us, in which case we can do some assisted lunges, holding on to a close by sturdy object for support. And let's have twin one demonstrate here. And so holding on to that close by object, we can, with that assistance, perhaps get that knee all the way to the ground. Or it could be that even with assistance, that's just not a range of motion that's for us right now, in which case we can choose to do some step ups in today's workout instead. And that's where we're going to get both feet up to a sturdy surface, such as a footstool or a step ladder, or maybe even some stairs if that's the most practical option for us. But if we're doing the lunge as prescribed, then we are taking a nice big lunge step forward, slightly to the side for stability, until that trailing knee touches the ground. And we are looking for the full range of motion. So if we're not getting that knee to the ground, let's definitely modify to one of those assisted or modified versions. So good job on these lunges. Next, we're going to grab a light dumbbell if we have one. And by light, I mean 10 pounds or less, 5 kilos or less. If we don't have a light dumbbell, then any other common light household object will do. It could be a shoe, it could be a teddy bear, it could be a pillow, but whatever the case, it's got to be super light. We always go light before we go heavy. So with this light object in hand, let's look on as twin 1 demonstrates 2 reps of a single arm deadlift from between the feet. And if we are doing this from the seated position, then the single arm deadlift is going to look like this. So let's everyone join in here and let's do 10 deadlifts, 5 on each arm. So on these deadlifts, that object is starting on the ground in between the feet. And we've got those hips super low, chest up, shoulders back. We're looking straight ahead. And we're going to take a deep breath in and brace that core as we drive the ground away, getting to a fully standing position, shoulders back at the top. And then we are bracing that core on the way back down as well. So good job here on these deadlifts. And finally, here in the activation phase, we're going to do some strict press. And let's go ahead and have twin 1 demonstrate 2 reps of the strict press for us. And if we are doing this from the seated position, then the strict press is going to look like this. So let's everyone join in and let's do 10 reps of the strict press together, 5 on each side. So on this strict press, we are starting with the object on the shoulder and we are holding it from underneath, pressing upward and pressing that arm back as well, getting the bicep into the ear. And then we have that elbow pointing forward on the way back down as well. And so good job here on the strict press. Well, that is it for the activation phase. Now we're going to move on to the movement prep, which is where we're going to practice specifically the 3 moves that we are doing in today's workout. The first move is going to be the bike. So if you happen to have some type of exercise bike, what I'd like you to do is to hop on that bike right now. And for about 1 minute, get a nice good ride in, medium intensity, just to make sure that everything is set the way that you like it. But most of us don't have these machines. We're the machines. We're going to do an at-home modification for the bike that involves mountain climbers and plank shoulder taps. And let's look on as twin 1 demonstrates 2 calories on our body weight bike. That was 1. That was 2. And if we are doing this from the seated position, then each calorie is going to look like this. That was 1. That was 2. So let's all join in and let's do 5 calories on our body weight bike. Now, it could be that doing this off the ground is a bit of a challenge for us, in which case we can do this off of an inclined surface. Let's have twin 1 demonstrate here. So we'll be in an incline plank, and we're going to get those knees to the elbow, followed by an incline plank shoulder tap. And that is what each calorie will look like from the incline. But if we're doing this off the ground, notice how Twin One is now jumping for joy on these mountain climbers. And she is jumping these out, which if our circumstances allow, I would like us to jump as much of these as possible, remembering that the step is always there for us as we need it to regulate our heart rate and help us to just keep going. And that's going to be the whole idea, to jump as much as we can, step as much as we need to, but to get through the whole set without stopping unnecessarily. So good job on these mountain climber plank shoulder taps. The second move that we are doing in today's workout is the single dumbbell devil press. Very aptly named, as you'll see. And let's go ahead and have Twin One demonstrate 2 reps of the devil press for us. That was 1. That was 2. And if we are doing this from the seated position, then the devil press is going to look like this. That was 1. That was 2. So let's all join in here and let's do 6 practice reps of the devil press. Now we've got a couple options here. It could be that getting all the way down to the ground is a bit of a challenge, in which case, perhaps we can do the devil press just down to the plank. Let's have Twin One demonstrate here. And so that's going to be where we get that dumbbell down to the ground and we either jump or step the feet back, and then we get back up before hitting that press overhead. Or if getting down to the plank is a challenge for us, hey, that's okay. We can actually do an incline burpee. And let's have Twin One demonstrate here. So we're going to put the dumbbell to the side, actually. We're not even going to use that dumbbell. But we are going to get our hands down on the inclined surface, take a couple steps back. Optionally, we can include a push-up, get the feet forward, and then clap our hands overhead. And that is what we'll do for the devil press today if we need to do this off of an inclined surface. But if we're doing the devil press as prescribed, we are getting those hands on the ground, jumping it back, leading with the hips on the way back up, throwing that dumbbell back between the legs in order to harness the power of the glutes. And another tip for performance is as we're coming up, let's get those feet wide. So we come back narrow, but as we're coming up, we go wide to create space, to create that momentum. So good job on the devil press. And then the third and final move that we are doing in today's workout is the dumbbell overhead walking lunge. And we're actually going to practice the overhead walking lunge without weight right now because we are looking to assess our overhead stability and mobility. And let's go ahead and have Twin One demonstrate 4 reps of an overhead walking lunge on one arm. And if we are doing this from the seated position, then the overhead lunge is going to look like this. So let's everyone join in and let's do 10 reps of the overhead lunge. Now we've got a couple options here. It could be that, hey, we need some assistance to get that knee to the ground. In which case, we can do assisted lunge here. Let's have Twin One demonstrate. We're holding on to a close by sturdy object. And optionally, we've got the other fist in the air as we are then descending the knee to the ground in this way. And It should be noted that if we choose to do this, we are definitely not adding weight to this. We are still just working on our range of motion and our mobility. Now, it could be that, you know what, I just need to do step ups today, which is fine as well. We can get that sturdy surface that we are stepping up onto. Optionally, we can have a fist in the air. And then we are hitting these step ups, getting the full extension each time, getting both feet up, getting to that full extension overhead. Or it could be that, you know what, I have the ability to do the overhead walking lunge. I just don't have the space to do 15 feet of these lunges, in which case we can overhead lunge in place. And we're going to take a big step forward slightly to the side until the knee touches the ground, and then push back until we get to a fully standing position. We're going to end up doing 5 on one side before switching and doing 5 on the other side. But to the extent that we do have space to do the walking lunge, at least 5 steps in one direction, that is ideal today. And that usually works out to about 15 feet for most people. And so that's what we'll consider today if we don't have that measured out. 5 lunges in one direction is the 15 feet. Then we turn around, hit the 5 back, and then that's going to equal the 30-foot lunge for today. And it should be noted, we are not adding weight to this lunge unless we have the stable overhead position that we see twin one, that arm locked out, the arm locked into the ear as well, no bend in the elbow whatsoever. That's what we want to see if we are even thinking about adding weight. Well, now it's ramp up time. If you've been earning badges and you'd like to add some weight to do either the scaled intermediate or RX weight in today's workout, then let's start to gradually add some weight, doing about 2 to 4 practice reps of the devil press, along with 3 to 5 overhead lunges with each arm, adding a little bit of weight each time until we get to the weight that we want to use for the division. Plus, it should be noted, it could be that we decide to use less weight or even no weight on the overhead lunge just based on our overhead positioning. No matter how long we've been doing this program, if we are still working on our overhead stability, still working on locking out that arm, keeping it locked back the way it needs to be, let's use less weight or no weight as needed in order to achieve a strong overhead position. And then, of course, if we haven't been earning badges, let's not add any weight. That 10 pounds or less, 5 kilos or less is going to be more than enough for us today. It's very important that we have the right form and consistency with all our habits before we've earned the right to add or reintroduce intensity, such as by adding weight or going fast. And whether we're adding weight or not, let's pay close attention to the following checklist. Number 1, please make sure your device is fully charged or plugged in so we can get through this whole workout without losing you. Number 2, let's grab some water. Let's take a sip. And let's make sure we got our water nearby so we can take a sip as needed all throughout the workout. Number 3, I'm going to give everyone a 3, 2, 1, go countdown. And that's how you can synchronize your timer with mine if you choose to use one. Number 4, music. Gonna be very important today. This is not a short one. We definitely want some jams that are going to keep us motivated all throughout and help us to get to it, get through it. So, what's on your playlist? You can blast your music as loud as you want, as long as you can still hear me helping you throughout the workout. And lastly, how are we keeping track of these rounds? This is a 5-round workout. We're going to be up and down all over the place. It's going to be easy to lose track of where we are, who we are, what's coming up next. And experience has shown that the best way to help keep track of all that is being a teacher's pet, having the workout written down close by. So let's go ahead and take our teacher's pet picture just to show how prepared you are. Teacher's pet picture in 3, 2, 1. Awesome. I'm going to bring the workout back on screen one more time, and then we'll get going. So in just about a minute, we're going to start this timer, and we're about to do this 5-round workout of 15 calories on the bike, 16 single dumbbell devil presses, and a 30-foot dumbbell overhead walking lunge. Now, most of us are going to be doing some at-home options, meaning we're going to be doing 15 sets of the mountain climber plank shoulder taps at the start of each round to replace the 15-calorie bike. Whether we're doing this off the ground or off the incline, let's make a good choice that helps us to get through that at a moderate pace. On the single dumbbell devil press, let's make sure we're not adding weight unless we've been earning badges, and we want a weight that's going to be challenging, but that we can still get through it a pretty good pace there without pinning us down too much. And then for the 30-foot overhead walking lunge, we're going to consider that 10 lunges, whether you do the lunges in place or whether you have space to do 5 walking lunges down, turn around 5 walking lunges back, and then of course the same rep scheme applies to step-ups or assisted lunges if we choose to do those as well, 10 reps there. So your score is going to be the time it takes you to get through these 5 rounds of 15 mountain climber plank shoulder taps, 6 devil presses, 10 overhead lunges. And let's remember to use the appropriate weight on those lunges. We can use less weight or no weight as necessary. No matter how long we've been doing this program, we want the strong overhead position before we're adding weight to that move. If you are good to go, give me a thumbs up over here and we'll get this started. I'm going to give us a 10-second countdown. And then I'm going to highlight 2 and 1 to get us going. So here we go. 5 rounds. 15 super awesome mountain climber plank shoulder taps. 6 single dumbbell devil press. 10 overhead lunges. Starting in 10 seconds. Let's get ready. 3, 2, 1, go. And we are off. We are doing this. Mountain climber plank shoulder taps. Jump, jump, tap, tap. And like we mentioned before, the idea is to jump as much of these as we can and step when we need to in order to regulate that heart rate. Regulating the heart rate is going to be a big thing today. This is not a short workout. We've got 5 rounds of this. And so we definitely want to make sure that we're pacing ourselves accordingly. In each and every set, in each and every move, we want to be able to even kick it in gear and go faster toward the end. And making quick work of that mountain climber plank shoulder tap. She is now on to the devil press. And so notice, alternating arms is a really good strategy here to give each arm a little bit of rest and recovery and help you to hit that set of 6 without having to slow down too much. The move kind of lends itself to alternating and getting a good amount of rest between arms in between each and every rep there. But we are getting low, leading with the hips on the way up. Let's save that back. And what I'd like you to consider is, she went straight through on the devil presses there. Maybe we do 5, and then, or that's exactly it. Maybe we do 5 on the next round, and then we save the 6th, and then boom, go into some lunges, and she is now on these lunges. Nice stable overhead position. 5 lunges down, and then 5 lunges back. And then just like that, done with the first round. So nice work there, twin one. And let's remember to pick the options that are good for us, whether we're doing incline on the mountain climber plank shoulder taps, doing assisted lunges, doing step ups. Let's remember we can go back and forth on those options as needed as well. But twin one is now jumping for joy at these mountain climber plank shoulder taps in round 2 here. Jump, jump, tap, tap. Getting through it. And we are breathing and we are moving. And this is where we start to maybe take strategic little breaks just to regulate the heart rate. We want to keep a nice steady pace so that we don't redline and we can just keep moving. So nice work there. And then moving on to these devil press. And let's remember our efficiency tip. We want to think about maybe making this a set of 5, taking a quick breather before, boom, hitting that 6th. And going straight into the lunges. But nice work here. We are diving into it and saving that back. We want to take a nice deep breath and brace that core, leading with the hips on the way up. But diving into it, breathing, getting that locked out overhead. And there she goes, 5 reps in, taking a nice strategic break before hitting that last rep and going straight into these overhead lunges. We're gonna have that dumbbell already in the overhead position. Boom, nice smart move there. And here we go, right into that set. Efficiency of movement actually makes a big difference in our fitness as well. It's about moving smarter, not just moving harder all the time. Five lunges down, quick breather, coming back, stable overhead position. And there we go, just like that, 2 rounds down, 3 to go, and we are definitely on track to finish within the target window today. Reminder, the target window is the best way to know if we've been making the right choices with our weights and our movement options. You know, at first we do the basic, the flex options just to get the body moving and get used to some consistency. But the more we get experience with this program, we start adding some weights, we start doing some higher skill moves. We want to do so in a way that allows us to finish within the target window of time. Twin one is now deep into this 3rd round here. Already a couple mountain climber plank shoulder taps deep, taking a strategic break and diving back into it. Feeling the burn, putting on a show for you, as you are, of course, sweating it out as well. But we are breathing, getting through this. And we've got twin one done with the mountain climber plank shoulder taps. And now moving on to some devil press on this round here. All the way down, all the way up, throwing it back, punching that back at the top, moving a lot more efficiently, and then planning, of course, the transition, 5 of these, quick breather, and then boom, going straight into the lunge here. So very important that we plan this out as well. We kind of push, but we push with a plan that helps us to maximize our movement efficiency. And there she goes, boom, closing out this third round. Making the way back. So nice work there, and here we go. Closing out round 3. Diving into round 4. This round is where it starts to get crazy. We're deep into it. We're starting to get tired. It's not quite the last round. This is where we have to dig deep mentally to stay in the game, stay focused. And so let's stay with it here. It's very easy to slip in our focus, but we have to stay the course. And this is where the power of motivation comes into play. Deep into this part of the workout is where we start to question ourselves. Why am I doing this? But with a strong enough why, we push through each rep, we push through each set, and we come out a better person on the other side. So let's keep going. Getting through this set of bike, breaking these up into manageable sets as needed, just like we saw Twin One do over there. Diving into the devil press on this 4th round. Still keeping with the alternating rep scheme here. So nice work, let's go. Moving very efficiently, keeping that dumbbell close to the body. Using the power of the hips and the legs on the way up. Taking that strategic breather before, boom, diving into this last rep and the lunges. Some nice big steps there, all the way down. Reaching the halfway point. Switching arms, taking a breather, making the way back. Big steps, keeping that arm locked out overhead, actively pushing up, pushing back. And just like that, we are in the last round, fast round, on track to finish within that target window. So let's get our game face on. Let's dive into this last round. Let's get into this last set of mountain climber plank shoulder taps. We've been pacing, now we're racing. It could be that we bang all these out. It could be that, you know what, I'm still sticking with my strategy of doing like maybe 3 to 5 at a time, quick break. But whatever the case, this is where we take that chance. This is the last round. This is the time to do the thing that we came here to do. We are going for it. Finishing out this set. blasting through this race. And just like that, couple reps away. Getting into this now last set of devil press. Diving down, let's get back up, throwing it back, punching it back, alternating, going for it. Doing this thing. And then strategic quick last break before boom going into this last set of lunges. And there we go. Nice big steps. Making our way 5 lunges down. Hitting that turnaround. 5 lunges back. Just a couple steps to go. And time, lunging across the finish line. Man, that was some craziness. But guess what? Now, finally, we're at the best part of the workout, which is the cool down stretch. And this stretch is super important to help us fight soreness, increase flexibility, so we can come back day after day, staying consistent and committed. So the first stretch that we're going to do today is the seated forward fold, which, as the name implies, pretty simple. We kind of want to be sitting after the workout right now anyway. We might as well reach toward those toes. And if we can reach them and grab them, great. Hey, if this is all we got, that's also awesome. But while we're in this position, let's hear a high from Twin One. So what was your high in today's workout?
So it was hard to find a high in this workout. It all was killing me. I guess the double press was a high because it wasn't that many. It burned, but it wasn't that many. So I was able to take that break after that 5th one. Love that.
Hey man, we gotta take these breaks wherever we can, right? Next, let's straddle it out. Get those feet nice and wide, and then we are going to reach forward like this. And let's now hear a low from Twin One. Apparently there's many to choose from, right? What's something that you want to do better next time it shows up?
So the mountain climbers playing shoulder taps. Those things are annoying. I can't seem to find. I do them so many times, I would think that I'd get better at it. And I feel like I'm not for some reason. They're just really annoying to me. But got through it.
Hey man, if I'm not mistaken, I feel like your sound cut out because I don't hear you say any particular low. I mean, those mountain climber plank shoulder taps are your favorite move of all time. And so I know it couldn't have been that. And I also know that you definitely have been getting a lot smoother with those. And so good job, Twin One. And let's go ahead and switch to butterfly. So we got the feet together, knees out, and we are flapping these wings, opening up the hips like this. And while we're doing this, let's hear a buffalo. What you got for us, Twin One?
So buffalo, something that surprised me is that I got through the WOD. When I finished that first round, I was like, this is a 4 rounds per time, right? Because I think I could do 4. But then I was like, wait a second. I looked at the board. I'm like, it's 5 rounds. I don't think I would get through this. But surprisingly, I did. I pushed through as much as I didn't want to, but I made myself do it. And with coaches cheering, got me through it. So that's my buffalo.
Hey, that's what we're here for. And that is the power of the group right there. We're not just thinking about our own suffering. We're thinking about, hey, who else is depending on this? And we are setting the example. And so I can tell that you definitely carried all that with you through all 5 rounds, not 4. And you were able to finish within the target window, which means you rose to the challenge today. Well, that's our WOD, that's our stretch, that's our high-low buffalo. You know what's left. This sweaty selfie. Does this count if we don't take this selfie? Let's flex on the camera. Here we go. Sweaty selfie in 3, 2, 1. And crazy face. And let's put the fist in the middle for the cheer. On 3, 2 claps. Fit crew. Here we go. 1, 2, 3.
Big crew.
Fit crew. Thank you so much. If you enjoyed this program, then please give this channel a subscribe, a like, and a share. Thank you very much, and see you next time.